Welcome back, viewers. Let's take a look at the breaking developments that we are tracking. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has asserted that the day is not far when Pakistan-occupied Kashmir will return to India on its own. Addressing the inaugural plenary of the CII Annual Business Summit 2025, the Defense Minister has reaffirmed India's emotional and cultural ties with the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. He has stated that most people in POK feel a deep connection with India. Only a few have been misled. Rajnath Singh has further said that he has faith in the people in POK who are separated from us geographically and politically. But he said that the people of the POK are our own and that we are committed to resolve the one India, great India. He has further highlighted that the integration of the POK with India depends on the cultural, social and economic prosperity of this country. Let's listen into what he has said.
मैं जानता हूं वहां के अधिकांश लोग भारत के साथ एक जुड़ाव महसूस करते हैं। बड़ी संख्या है जो भारत के साथ जुड़ाव महसूस करती है पीओके में। कुछ गिने चुने ही हैं जिन्हें भटकाया गया है, गुमराह किया गया है। पीओके में रहने वाले हमारे इन भाइयों की स्थिति कुछ ऐसी ही है जैसे वीर योद्धा महाराणा प्रताप के छोटे भाई शक्ति सिंह की थी। मैं फिर से दोहराना चाहूंगा, पीओके में रहने वाले हमारे इन भाइयों की स्थिति कुछ ऐसी ही है जैसे वीर योद्धा महाराणा प्रताप के छोटे भाई शक्ति सिंह की थी। छोटे भाई शक्ति सिंह के अलग हो जाने पर भी बड़े भाई महाराणा प्रताप का विश्वास अपने छोटे भाई के प्रति बना रहता है और वह बड़े विश्वास के साथ कहते हैं कि तब कुपंत को छोड़ सुपथ पर स्वयं चला आएगा, मेरा ही भाई है मुझसे दूर कहां जाएगा। भारत हमेशा ही दिलों को जोड़ने की बात करता है और हमें विश्वास है कि प्रेम, एकता और सत्य के मार्ग पर चलकर वह दिन दूर नहीं जब हमारा ही अंग पीओके स्वयं लौटकर कहेगा, मैं भारत हूं, भारत ही हूं, मैं वापस आऊंगा। और वापस आया हूं, मैं भारत ही वापस आया हूं, यह पीओके कहेगा, ऐसा मेरा पक्का विश्वास है। पीओके की भारत से एकजुटता इस देश की सांस्कृतिक, सामाजिक और आर्थिक समृद्धि पर निर्भर करती है।
All right, Major General Shashi Asthana is joining me live on the broadcast. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us on the telecast. Now, this is the most scorching speech by the Union Defence Minister. In fact, the session of the CII, he has reaffirmed that he believes that POK is going to come back to India on its own. How do you react? This is definitely coming at the time when tensions are high and there is a heated exchange of statements as far as the subject of Jammu and Kashmir and POK rakes up between India and Pakistan.
Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has said vindicates the historical facts as well as the documentational facts in a manner that instrument of accession was signed between Maharaja Hari Singh and the India, and that instrument of accession makes the entire Jammu and Kashmir as part of India, which includes POK, which includes Gilgit-Baltistan, which includes Sakshgam Valley, which also includes the Aksai chain. That was the territory of Maharaja Hari Singh and that belongs to India. That is a separate issue that before he could give us the entire territory and before he could sign the instrument of accession and before Indian forces could move in, certain part was occupied forcibly, illegally by Pakistan, and that is what is POK, which Rajnath Singh is referring to. There is no doubt that India has never forgotten them in a manner that we have their seats, their representative seats in Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. We have their representative seats in the National Assembly as well. There are 7 seats left for POK. There are some more seats left for POK in J&K Assembly, and with the proviso that whenever POK returns to India, they will exercise their voting rights and their democratic rights and elect their appropriate representatives. So this is a historical fact, and there is no other historical fact to counter this particular statements of the fact and the documents. So certainly there is a gap, wide gap, and wide asymmetry in the level of development on both sides of a line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. The Jammu and Kashmir on the Indian side of line of control is progressing at a much faster pace than the Jammu and Kashmir on the other side of line of control. Surely there is a fair amount of disgruntlement in the people of POK, and they are certainly unhappy with the kind of governance which is being given to them. Secondly, the kind of atrocities which have been caused to them, that also is a cause of disgruntlement. So obviously, at some point of time, this disgruntlement will cross a limit. The disparity is going to keep rising because because India is progressing at a much faster rate than Pakistan, and Pakistan is progressing only in terms of terrorism, and there is no other GDP which they are actually which they can be proud of. So considering that, certainly a time will come which Rajnath Singh is saying that they will say enough is enough. Let's go back to India and let's join India. And there will be some movement. We are looking for some leadership to emerge. Something what happened in 1971 in East Pakistan under Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. If some leadership like that emerges and galvanizes and synergizes all the disgruntlement, I don't think the day will be very far when POK would opt to join India, and we will get back the entire territory as well as the entire population which was legitimately supposed to be part of India.
Mr. Astana, thank you very much for being with us on the telecast and also detailing it in complete context as to what this major statement coming from the Union Defence Minister means at this point of time ahead of the dialogues between the two nations, and tensions continue to stay on a high alert. Now, also Sumit Peer, who's a senior political commentator, is joining me live on the broadcast. Voluntarily is what the focus Mr. Peer has been in the statements of the Union Defence Minister, as he has said that the people of POK feel a deep sense of connection with Indians. Till some time back, even the POK and the people of the POK have been subjected to be the outsiders and wanting to create divide. But at this point of time, as the statement has come, how do you feel this is going to reshape the kind of dialogue that India can negotiate and will fight for in the battle against Pakistan?
Well, good morning and thanks for having me on your show. It's a very important moment. I think it's a Mujibur Rahman kind of a moment, what was in Bangladesh in 71. There is no Mujibur Rahman here, but the people of POK realize that they need to break free from shackles and they need to come with India. They have a civilizational connect with India, and this is Pakistan has betrayed them. He has looted and plundered them, and you see our side of Kashmir is known for tourism and the beauty and all the beautiful things, and their side of the Kashmir, which is POK, which is occupied by them temporarily, is known for terrorism and terror camps. So they can see the difference, they can feel the difference. Now, after Rajnath Singh ji's clear, candid message, it's a very subtle message to the people who matter there. Look, India is welcoming you with open arms. You have to do what you need to do, and we'll help you wherever it is possible and whatever we can come. And it's a very direct message to Pakistan. You cannot hold POK, because the future of the talks, if there are any, is going to be around POK and terror only. So terror will continue with Pakistan. POK has to come to India, as we share a common bond with the people, and the people are with us. So today, the fact remains that even Pakistan wants, even if they, कहते हैं ना सोने की सड़क भी बनवा देंगे, they cannot hold the people there. People see no future with Pakistan. People see India is a much stronger military power. It's already the 4th largest economy declared, and very soon going to be the 3rd largest economy. So the choices are quite clear. The choices are quite obvious. And as well as even if you want to look at the Hindu-Muslim angle and all, we have the 2nd highest Muslim population in the world. As a matter of time, we'll have the highest Muslim population in the world. So even that angle of Pakistan will not work here. Kafir and all that is not going to work here. So it's a very it's a very calibrated and calculated move. Otherwise, Mr. Rajnath Singh also mentioned about Operation Sindoor. हम चाहते तो बहुत कुछ कर सकते थे, पर हमने संयम दिखाया. If we wanted, we could have done a lot, but we have shown our strategic restraint. Power doesn't mean aggression. India is not a conqueror, but India is a defender. But push comes to shove. This defense can be an offensive defense, and this offensive defense can be detrimental to Pakistan. And what Modi ji rightly said a couple of days back, I think 2 days back, Pakistan ke awam ko ab roti khaiye, ab maze se rahiye, nahi to goli mere paas hai. It was a very direct message to them. And Mr. Amit Shah saying, goli aayegi to gola jayega yahan. After Mr. Rajnath Singh's echo, I think the Pakistan should get message very loud and clear from Mr. Amit Shah, Modi ji, Rajnath Singh ji, Dr. Jaishankar Saab. It's a very clear message. It's a unified message. This is what is the collective resolve of India, and this is the mood of the nation. And this is what India is going to do. And Pakistan is useless and helpless. 45% of the air force decimated. It will take months to come them to pre-Sindoor stage, and Operation Sindoor is on. Even if we want today, if we suspect today there's some nefarious activity going on in Pakistan, we have a right to go and get it out, and we don't have to talk to anybody, we don't have to inform to anybody, and we have once sent our delegations to the whole world. After that, Operation Sindoor and bashing of Pakistan will become a reality, a perpetual, continued reality, which will need no support, no claims, no clarifications, and no permissions from anybody whatsoever, including the mighty self-proclaimed United Nations, which is basically an outdated organization, and all those custodians of conscience in the West and some in the United States and some in Beijing. So, the message is loud and clear, and we have been resonating this time and again, reiterating our position and reiterating our status. And after that, if world has still doubts, either they are deaf or they are pretending to be in hibernation, which I believe they are both of the situations are not true.
All right, Mr. Pete, thank you very much for being with us on the broadcast, and also in fact breaking it down as to what exactly this statement means for the future of the India versus Pakistan battle against terror. Now, the terror nexus in Pakistan has been exposed again. Pahalgam terror attack mastermind Saifullah Ahmad Kasuri has been spotted with the Speaker of the Provincial Assembly of Punjab in Pakistan, Malik Khan. They shared the last dies at the rally in Lahore. What's interesting is that Lashkar-e-Taiba chief Hafiz Saeed's son Talha Saeed was also part of the gathering. This development has come after a digital signboard showed Lashkar-e-Taiba and Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir on the same screen in Lahore earlier. The signboard commemorated the nuclear test conducted by Pakistan in the Chagai Hills of Balochistan in the year 1998. Ajay Jandyal is joining me with more details. Now, Pakistan terror nexus has been exposed once again, and this is in fact the picture that has made it very clear how the Lashkar-e-Taiba chief Hafiz Saeed's son was also present at the congregation where in fact the Punjab Assembly Speaker was with at the 22-4 Mastermind. Ajay, what are you bringing in the latest as to how exactly the development has taken place?
See, everyone knows that Pakistan and terrorism is, is the same story and our same page. And Pakistan, terrorism is a Pakistan state subject, and that is what they are doing. So this state-sponsored terrorism, they need basically backup now. When Indian forces, they have targeted their launch pads and the terror training camp over there in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir and in Pakistan across the fenced area. That have shaken them, disastrously, and that's why Pakistani government and especially the army, they can be seen together. And in this fresh development, when Pakistan's Punjab province speaker Malik Khan, he was spotted with Saifullah there in the rally. That indicates that this is something which is very very common in Pakistan, and that's why they are doing it. And they were continually allowed to do propaganda. Pakistani terrorists are allowed to conduct rallies, and hate speech are being done over there by the Saifullah Kasuri. Or other than that, we have seen that after this major strike took place, we have seen that there was a rally there in Pakistan. So this happens in Pakistan. So this is nothing new. But one thing is very clear, that Indian government have clearly conveyed to Pakistan that whenever they feel that Pakistan is trying to disturb peace by using their terrorists or anything, then they will be taught a lesson, as Operation Sindoor is not over yet. So Pakistan must keep this thing in their mind, that anytime anything can happen as far as the forces of India is concerned, because they are clearly saying that any terror incident in Jammu and Kashmir in the rest of the country means that act of terror, and they will be treated as act of terror, and retaliation will be done.
Well, all right, Ajay, thank you very much for adding more details. Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist, joining me live on the broadcast. Now, appreciate you joining me on the telecast. Sir, this is yet another incident which is exposing and shedding light on the kind of association the Pakistani politicians continue to maintain with the terrorists. And this is a Pahalgam terrorist. The terror nexus stands to be exposed with the Pakistan politicians now joining the space and being there with the terrorist. The Pahalgam terrorist that has been on the run is seen in the pictures. How do you react to this as India continues to make it very clear, even on abroad soil as well, that this is what Pakistan is in fact sure of, and this is what they conclude with their sentiments and their intentions which have been hidden?
Well, one thing is apparent. It was apparent even during the conduct of Operation Sindoor, when the various terrorist hubs were hit in Muridke and Bawalpur, and you know, a lot of their people as well as their facilities were destroyed. Right after that, the Pakistani army, armed forces, stood shoulder by shoulder with the terrorists during the funeral. They made no distinction. And because one would imagine that the terrorists are somewhat disheartened, also because of loss of great numbers at the LOC and along the international border, that the Pakistani army and the forces, armed forces, the politicians like this assembly speaker, have to back them shoulder to shoulder in order to revive their morale. So that is what is going on. As far as India is concerned, as long as they keep it their side of the border, it's fine. You know, it is their business. But reports say they are already sending terrorists to the line of control and to the international border. So it won't be long before they're back to their earlier tricks of crossing the border and creating terrorist incidents in India. Now, as far as POK is concerned, the government of India is quite clear it must take it back. It is the only way to bring the whole issue of Kashmir, J&K to a conclusion. If all of J&K is united, then there is nothing further to discuss. At the same time, it must be remembered that J&K, Gilgit-Baltistan are thinly populated with the Shia minority in the main. Pakistan is trying to pump in as many Sunnis from the mainland as they can. However, the fact is that it's thinly populated with the minority Shia, as is Balochistan, is also thinly populated with the minority Shia. Now, this poses a military problem, because even if the minority Shia were to revolt and say we want to come back to India, it is very difficult for them to enforce their will without military help from India. So what I think is the next time we have to strike Pakistan because of their inevitable backing of terror and any other hostile action against India, we have to move into POK and capture it. We will get backing from the locals, but they are not strong enough and numerous enough to take it by themselves or to withstand the onslaught of the Pakistani armed forces. The same thing applies to Balochistan, but Balochistan is fighting for its independence and POK is looking to rejoin with India.
All right. Mr. Mukherjee, thank you very much for being with us on the broadcast and also, in fact, detailing us with more contextual perspective. Now, from there, let's also shift our focus to more developments. The United Nations will posthumously award the prestigious Dag Hammar's Gold Medal to two Indian peacekeepers, Brigadier Amit Jha and Havildar Sanjay Singh. This is in recognition of their supreme sacrifice in the service of the global peace. Brigadier Amit Jha was attached to the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force, overseeing the delicate ceasefire arrangements in the Golan Heights, while Havildar Sanjay Singh was deployed with the United Nations Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where he worked to stabilize the conflict-affected regions. The medals will be presented posthumously during the solemn ceremony at the United Nations headquarters in New York today. This is the marking of the International Day of United Nations Peacekeepers, an occasion dedicated to honoring more than 4,300 peacekeepers who have lost their lives since 1948 while serving under the UN flag. Priya is joining me live on the broadcast with more details. Priya, this is in fact indeed a very special moment as the UN honors India's fallen heroes posthumously. In New York, the ceremony will be taken place as two Indian peacekeepers are going to be honored on in fact the world platform for their supreme sacrifice. Share more details.
Simran, you've put it correctly. The Dag Hammar's Gold Medal is a posthumous award that is given by the United Nations to military personnel, police or even civilians who often lose their lives while serving in a United Nations peacekeeping operation. We do know that India itself is a large contributor to the UN peacekeeping operations. This has been mentioned and highlighted by the Prime Minister several times during his speech at the UNGA in New York City. Of course, there was a memorial that was also built. But what's really interesting is that two Indian peacekeepers who, of course, lay down their lives, sacrifice their lives in line of their duty while saving lives abroad and ensuring peace amidst conflict-ridden places. They will now be honored. They are Brigadier Amitabh Jha, you can see on your screens, as well as Havildar Sanjay Singh. Brigadier Jha was attached to the UN Disengagement Observer Force in Golan Heights in Israel. Meanwhile, Havildar Sanjay Singh was deployed in the UN Stabilization Mission in DR Congo, where he worked to stabilize the conflict-affected regions. The medal will, of course, be presented posthumously. There will be a solemn ceremony which will be held at the United Nations headquarters in New York very, very soon. Remember, this prize itself was in fact initiated in 2000, back when Kofi Annan was the UN Secretary General. He had in fact published regulations for the awarding of the medal. It is, of course, given to those who have lost their lives, as long as the death did not result from misconduct or criminal acts. This criteria, of course, came into force on 1st January 2001. And the physical medals are presented to the next of kin of the deceased recipients. So their families will be going to New York, where, of course, they will be felicitated with this medal. This, of course, marks the International Day of UN Peacekeepers, which is dedicated to honoring more than 4,300 peacekeepers who have lost their lives since 1948.
All right, Priya. Thank you very much for the latest updates. Now, viewers, let's also take a look at the COVID-19 cases update. COVID-19 cases continue to surge nationwide, with the total number of active cases increasing and reaching over the 1,200 mark. There has been a tremendous increase in the number of active cases as well, as the overall number of COVID cases also is increased. Over 800 new cases have been reported within a week's time. Doctors continue to assure that the cases are mild and there is no cause of worry. States have issued guidelines asking people to take the necessary precautions against the spread. My colleague Belly Thomas has spoken to Karnataka's Health Minister Gundu Rao on the COVID-19 surge in the state. Let's listen in.
I'm joined by the Karnataka Health Minister Dinesh Gundurao with me here. Sir, the COVID infections, there's a surge in the cases here in Karnataka. So how is the state prepared for it?
No, we're making all preparations and we are on alert mode. And we also issued some advisories to people. And hopefully the infection, they're saying it's like a cyclical phenomena. So it should go up and again come down, but we want to minimize the spread, and also making people aware that those people who got comorbidities and who are susceptible, they should wear masks, and whatever other precautions in terms of keeping our hospitals and doctors and all the equipment and all that on standby mode, saying that if any eventuality, there should not be any shortage of any medicines or oxygen supply or ventilators. All those things are being ensured.
Okay. The first death has been recorded from Karnataka. A 85-year-old man died because of this. So.
No, yeah, there have been 2 deaths, but they've had other comorbidities, a lot of other complications. So along with that, they've been come as COVID positive also. So there's so far two deaths that have been reported. But it's not only because of COVID, they have had a lot of other health complications also. So anyway, that is something that we will take account of, but we will try and be monitoring on a regular basis.
Okay. So there is a fear that there will be a lockdowns and the infections are going to rise among people.
That way, infections might spread a little bit, but we are trying to keep it under control as far as possible, because they're all viral infections and we can't stop movement of people, and there's no such advisory even by Government of India. Okay. So we are waiting and seeing, and we're taking it on a daily basis.
Why are the cases more in Bengaluru when it comes to the men?
Because it's a huge population and it's all they're staying close to each other, a lot of physical contact. So that is also must be one of the reasons. And a lot of people traveling from all over the place coming here. So that could be one of the reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So that was the Karnataka Health Minister Dinesh Gundarao on the COVID-19 infection in Bengaluru and Karnataka. With camera person Pawan Kumar, this is Billy Thomas for NewsX, Bengaluru.
Now viewers, let's move forward with India's all-party delegations continuing their diplomatic outreach program, delivering India's anti-terror message as they visit the partner states across the globe. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor's delegation is currently in Panama. They have met with the President of the Republic of Panama, Jose Raul Mulino, at the Presidential House. Meanwhile, DMK MP Karunanidhi Kanimohi has led the delegation in Athens in Greece. They have met the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Greece as well as prominent think tank leaders and journalists. Additionally, the all-party delegation led by BJP MP Ravi Shankar Prasad has interacted with the India-Italy Parliamentary Friendship Group in Rome. Meanwhile, in Riyadh, the group led by BJP MP Baijant Panda has visited the Prince Saud Al Faisal Institute in Diplomatic Studies. The group led by Supriya Sule, the NCP MP in the Cape Town of South Africa, has met with the Kenneth Morlong, the Deputy Minister in the South African Presidency, and Supra Obeking, who is in fact the chairperson of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee in the International Relations. Last but not the least, the delegation led by Shrikant Shinde has arrived in Sierra Leone, and they were welcomed by Besnab Charan, who is the High Commissioner of India to Sierra Leone. Listen into what the members of the delegations in Jakarta have said.
यहाँ के जो राष्ट्रपति हैं प्रबोवो, जैसे ही ये घटना पहलगांव की हुई तो उन्होंने इमीडिएटली स्ट्रांगली कंडेम किया इसको, और जो हमारे एम्बेसडर हैं उनको भी बुला करके करीब 1-1.5 घंटा बात किया, उनसे समझने का कोशिश किया कि क्या वहां पर हुआ था। तो एक बड़ा पॉजिटिव सिग्नल था। दूसरा ये भी समझ में आया कि जिस तरह से सेग्रीगेट करके एक रिलीजन के नाम पे वहां मारा गया, तो डिस्टेबलाइज करने का था, डिसहार्मनी फैलाने का कम्युनल लाइन पर, ये भी यहाँ समझ में आया। और बहुत ही स्ट्रांगली इन लोगों ने कंडेम किया है टेररिज्म को। और लार्जली जब हम अपना बात रखे और किस तरह से ऑपरेशन सिंदूर लॉन्च किया प्रधानमंत्री जी ने, 2 वीक वेट किया कोई एक्शन हो उन टेररिस्ट के ऊपर, जब नहीं हुआ और बहुत ही प्रोपोर्शनेट मेजर्ड टारगेटेड प्रिसीजन के साथ उनके टेररिस्ट कैंप को खत्म।
2 दिनों से हम जकार्ता में हैं और बड़ी बात यह है कि कल से लेकर आज तक जितने भी सार्थक अंग हैं समाज के, उन सब से हमारी मुलाकात हुई। मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि कल जकार्ता में हम लोगों ने वाइस फॉरेन मिनिस्टर से बातचीत की, और उसके बाद जो आसियान देशों के सेक्रेटरी जनरल हैं उनसे हमारी बातचीत हुई, और उसके अलावा बहुत सारे जो युवा सांसद हैं इंडोनेशिया के, उन सब से भी बातचीत हुई। और मैं कहते हुए बहुत हर्ष का अनुभव कर रही हूं कि बहुत अच्छी अनुभूति हुई, सकारात्मक अनुभूति हुई। सबने हम सबकी बातों को सुना और सब जगह यह बात मैं बहुत ही स्पष्टता के साथ और जोर देकर कहना चाहूंगी कि भारत को बहुत सम्मान दिया जाता है, भारत की बातें सुनी जाती हैं और भारत में अप्रैल 22 को जो घटना हुई उसकी सबने मिलकर कठोर निंदा की और आतंकवाद का उन्मूलन सबका लक्ष्य है।
The tone and tenor and the general direction of the questions that were asked and the discussion that happened was very rewarding, was very satisfying, and this is consistent with what we heard from the government officials that we met yesterday. We met the Deputy Foreign Minister yesterday, members of Parliament. Broadly speaking, the tone and tenor was the same. But of course, these were think tanks, so they asked a lot of questions. They asked about our attitude on various other things that are happening in the world and how that could possibly be linked with our main concern, which is relating to the terrorist attack in Kashmir. But I thought that it was very positive. I thought it was very supportive, and particularly on the issue of terrorism. From yesterday to today, there's been outright support, very strong, determined support. But they are very interested in knowing the way forward. What do you do from here?
All right, viewers, on that note, with more news and updates to come on the other side, stay tuned.
मध्य प्रदेश